Right. Uh, the concept of running, it's really interesting to me. First of all, because there are many sport like there when you don't need any external equipment and you can do the exercise done. But running is something which is very primal to human beings, right? We long back when we were just hunter and gatherers, we were just roaming from here and there. The running was the only thing which we were doing in terms of a physical activity, right? There was no gym earlier, and even if you go back to 200 years back, there was nothing available, right? The concept of using these high-end machines and gyms and other exercises and all, they came recently, but running has been there forever, right? And when I was reading this article that we as a human being are not meant to run these long distance runs, right? And this is because on the theory that when we were evolving and we were like hunters, we were gatherers, so we used to run sprints to chase, an animal, say any which you wanted to kill, to hunt. So we never ran for long distance, and this new concept of long distance came recently. And I was reading this that how running long distance is something not very natural to us, and because our body is so flexible and it adapts to any kind of stress, we are doing so. But ideally, the evolution says that we never ran this long distance until in last 100 200 years. Do you agree with this kind of theory?
I'm going to agree with the one part of what you said, that we never ran this distances. Now, again, you need to be very specific when you say this distance. Is it a marathon distance or is it an ultra marathon
I
distance?
mean,
What distance are you
yeah.
talking
So
about?
like for example, if you just ignore the last 200 years, we were only running. For example, even before that, last 1,000 years, we used to run only to hunt, right? Can be 500 meter, 300 meter at max. And this concept of running for long distance came recently. When I say recently, as in like in the overall history of evolution of human beings, it's like a small blip, right? And before that, there was no
Okay.
concept of running. I think the first marathon was done when some soldier in Greece ran from the battlefield to marathon to carry the message. I think that the first marathon was
Peter,
done. So I was talking about that. And if you ignore this last 500, 600 years, before that, the running concept, running such these long distance were not there, and it just developed recently.
certainly, yes. The purpose of running used to be locomotion. You want to go from point A to point B. Either an animal is chasing you or you're chasing something, right? The purpose was survival. People used to run or walk long distances because they want to either migrate or they want to run away from something. And or the catching playing is these are little games that we have already always played as children. Running was generally not seen as a recreational sport, and of course this is developed over a period of time due to the popularity that it gained due to marathons and Olympics also contributed to the development of sports all across the world. And of course, the product makers like Nikes and Adidas, and they also promote that, okay, when you wear a cool shoes, you can run faster, you can run longer. So the purpose of running is now changed. It's more of recreational. It is a sport. It's depending upon our lifestyle. We are not hunters anymore. We are knowledge seekers. We live in cities at the comfort of air-conditioned room and travel from one place to another place in a AC car and luxury car and Ubers. Uh, our purpose, there is no requirement for us to move by on foot, right? We don't need to move from point A to point B on foot. There is no compulsion. But now running is seen as an exciting way of identifying ourselves as a runner, as an ultra marathoner, as a very fit person, plus all the other life related complexities around obesity and heart related diseases, cholesterol issues, lifestyle issues. Even sitting is considered to be really bad. How do you really get out of all these things? Many people working in offices, so they do not run, they do not exercise. For them, time is important. Time is important. Everybody spends time wisely, but it's just that their focus on exercise is not so much. But when they see an opportunity to run in an event, there is a recognition factor, there is a psychological need, a social need for them to go and participate. It could be participating or running in an event for charity. You want to raise money or you want to contribute, you want to just go and experience. There's a lot of learning that is happening. A lot of messages can be communicated when you go and participate in a sporting event. And it gives an identity. Running has given me an identity, and I'm sure you are recognized as a runner. You've done an ultra marathon, so you know exactly what the affiliation around this topic can bring. I think it goes very well with any other habit for that matter. You know, some people enjoy the company of friends. You know, they just sit and watch movies and enjoy a drink or two, and you know maybe chat or travel to a mountain, do some hiking, or even you take your bike and go for long endurance cycling. So running, we are just talking running because we are connected with that topic, but it could be any sport for that matter. It could be football, it could be anything. Nobody played football, you know, maybe 300, 400 years as a sport. But now there is a recreational quotient, recreational element associated with that. There is a social angle associated with that. And then there are health benefits because we are also bombarded constantly by issues of sedentary lifestyle. You know, you see diabetes, people are dying at a much younger age due to, you know, blocks in their artery, and heart attack is very common, and a lot of other lifestyle complexities, lower back issues, and people lose their range of motion, and fitness is, you know, kind of become a very important topic these days. And probably that's one of the reasons why you see a mushrooming effect of all the sporting events. And even Decathlon uh, kind of corporates, they came and gave us a different idea towards sports and fitness. Anybody can try anything. I never thought that I would even hold an archery, let's say bow and arrow. You know, you go to Decathlon, you can try that, a wobble board, or even, you know, a racing bike. I need to have a friend who has a racing bike to go and try it. But now today, I think the technology, the evolution, everything, the economy opening up brought us a lot of opportunities. But the one thing that I'm going to disagree with what you said is that humans are not designed to run. There are a lot of, again, scientific research done. I watched a video on Smithsonian lab, Smithsonian University. There are researchers who have really broken down our human anatomy to identify the individual functions of our muscles and skeletal system. Our glute muscle is designed to run. Otherwise, we are just using it for sitting. Our Achilles tendon is designed to run. That gives the required amount of stiffness and spring reaction forces. Our neck is designed to absorb those shocks. The way the neck moves when you're running, there's a lot of dynamic action that are involved in our body. Our human body is actually designed to run. Then one
Long
more very
distance. You mean
important,
long distance?
yeah, long distance. Yes, long distance. If you see the Bushmen in Kalahari, these are all quoted multiple times, right? So they run and walk multiple kilometers. They don't even have a Garmin or a Polar watch to track how long they walk and run. But their job is to endure. They're mentally very strong, so they have understood that the only way they can catch a fast-moving animal like a gazelle is to hunt it down by chasing it. The animal becomes tired, and as a human being, we don't become tired because we know exactly how to recover. We have the sweat glands which are responsible for cooling our body, and we are designed to run. I have a very strong belief, because this is what science has taught me, to believe that all of us are designed to run and born run. Of course, the elite category of runners, we always call them elite because they have certain genetic composition which is very different from a normal human being like me. But of course, it doesn't come free of cost, right? So they have to maintain, they have to train. If you look at some of the elites training, any sport, not a matter, they have certain advantages, but they also are very disciplined. They are training. Just going back to what you asked, yes, of course, running long distances, ultra distances is a kind of madness. I generally say that because if somebody comes and asks me, okay, should I do running marathons and should I run ultra marathon? And I say, hey, it's absolute, idiotic idea to run an ultra marathon. But unless you know what you're getting into, don't sign up. Right?
Right.
It's an idiotic thing, because the reason why it is becoming complex is we are not ready. Somebody who aspires to become an ultra marathoner, I've seen there is this Darshini in Bangalore. If you come, Darshinis and restaurants. Darshinis are the small joints where you go buy idli. They give you in a bowl. You just quickly grab and then walk out. You don't even have time to sit. You have just that 10 minutes for you to have a bowl full of idli, maybe a masala dosa, and a coffee and run out. You don't have time to sit there. This is for people who are crunched with time. But now the same Darshini approach is taken for running a 5K to 10K to half marathon to marathon to ultra marathon. And I'm a race organizer, and I also have in my UTI Ultra, I have certain qualification requirements. People like to run 60 Ks, and I put a qualification requirement. Okay, you should have run a full marathon at least. There are many calls I get from people saying that I've never run a marathon, but I want to run UTI Ultra because it gives me a lot of excitement. So that's the Darshini approach. Right? So you want things to happen quickly. But our physical development and adaptation takes multiple years for us to develop. So it is madness. It is a new thing that's happening all over the world. It's a good trend that many people are choosing an active lifestyle. But our human body is designed to run. Train responsibility, talk to a coach. I'm also a coach, and I have close to about 45, 50 people in my academy, coaching them on different aspects. And this is the advice that I give them. Do not try to get everything right now. This has to be a lifelong journey. So don't try to emulate somebody else. Okay, somebody else has achieved a greater heights in running, because generally the people who are seen as inspiration in the running community are the people who can run very fast. Okay, and of course somebody who can run really long. In between people are somewhere lost. Okay, everybody is an inspiration because they're all fighting their own battle. Okay, so keep running as your lifelong journey, and don't worry about whether my body is designed to run or not. It's certainly not designed to run if you do not train very well for it.